Assalamu alaikum kids, this is Ayaz and it's week 7 now and I'm going to teach you grade 7 math. So it's lecture 4 now today and the topic is the same, factorization of quadratic expressions. You can find this topic in your book 2 on page 105. As usual, I used to do some recaps, and here it is, the factorization. So now I hope you'll be familiar with this. Factorization means breaking up of an algebraic expression into two or more algebraic expression as a product. The sign between the these one or more two or more algebraic expression must be multiplication. And you guys now also know that factorization is basically a reverse process of expansion. In expansion, you expand the algebraic expressions and simplify it and get the answer. And in factorization, do the reverse process. That you have an algebraic expression, you break that one, you split that one into two or more factors such that the sign between these factors is multiplication. And the recap of the concerned topic, the factorization of quadratic expression, is first of all, now I hope you are familiar with what is the quadratic expression. That is ax squared plus bx plus c, and that is the kind of called as general form of a quadratic expression. And as I told you before, in a quadratic expression, the degree of the expression, the highest power of the variable must be 2, and a, b, c are any numbers. The only condition is on a that it can't be 0. By making a as 0, you guys know this one, this whole first term ax squared is going to be vanished and remained is bx plus c, which is no more quadratic. So and ABC, AB are the coefficients of the variable x and c is the constant. Okay, so how to factorize this quadratic expression is that we are going to first multiply the coefficient of x squared a with the constant c, and we'll get the product AC, and then we are going to look for two numbers such that the first condition is when we add these two numbers we should get the coefficient b of x, and when we multiply the same two numbers we should get the product AC. That is kind of recap, and we've done some examples in the previous lectures now. And here is I took a question from exercise 3b. This is question 2 part F on page 111. 60 squared minus 19t minus 20. So the first step, we are going to multiply the coefficient a of the variable t square with the constant c, and c in this case is minus 20. So multiplying 6 with minus 20, you got minus 120. So now let's see the factors of 120. Here are the sum of the factors of 120. You will see when you are going to get bigger and bigger number by multiplying a with c, so it's going to be not easier to have all possible factors of that number. So it's recommended, and you will get used to this one, jump to only those ones which could be the probable pair. But look how you see this one, because we can see that we need 120 when multiplied, and we need 19 when those two numbers are added or subtracted. So here are some of the factors over here of 120, and let's rule out some of them which have nothing to do with our question. So the very first one, 5 and 24. 5 and 24 multiplied, of course, gives you 120, and when we will play with the signs, definitely we can get the minus 120 also by having either minus 5 as a minus 5, it will give us minus 120, or having minus 24 multiplied with 5, we will get the minus 120. That's not an issue, but the things we need here is 19. So by subtracting 24, by subtracting 5 from 24, we are going to get plus 19. It looks to me this is going to be the good contender. The second pair, 6 and 20, when 6 and 20 is added, it's going to give us 26. When 6 is subtracted from 20, is going to give us 14. So that's this pair is out. 8 and 15. 8 plus 15 is going to give us 23. And remember, we need the coefficient b of the variable t, and b in our case is plus 19. So by subtracting 8 from 15, it gives us 7. Or subtracting 15 from 8 is going to give us minus 7. So that this pair also goes out. And the last one, 10 and 12, again when you add 10 and 12, we get 22, and when we're going to subtract, we're going to get 2 or minus 2. So the last three pairs are out. Basically the only good fit is going to be 5 and 24, and now we have to play with its signs. Okay, I'm just playing with it for you guys, that this is like kind of hit and trial method. There's no fixed way. So okay, so someone's going to say, okay man, if I take 24 as minus 24, so you see 5 into minus 24, it will give you minus 120. Okay, that's what we required. AC is minus 120. And when 5 and minus 24 are added, it gives us minus 19. I hope you remember the rules of addition and subtraction of the signs. The opposite sign, subtraction, 19, the sign of the bigger comes in the answer. And we need plus 19. So okay, what about this? That if I take 5 as minus, multiplying, I will get minus 120. Okay, now minus 5 plus 24 is plus 19. The sign of the bigger comes, you remember, 24 is bigger, its sign is plus, it comes in the answer, plus 19. So that's what we are looking for. So this pair basically fits with both the conditions. Okay, and let's solve this question now. Here I split up the middle term 19t as minus 5t plus 24, or 19t could be written as 24t minus 5t on the right side. And here's the step which I used. I kept on saying that in an actual questions you are not going to do that one. It's just to, for elaboration purposes, that how I'm taking common, and here's the one which you're supposed to do. On the first two terms you could see in the red ones, first two terms, in t is common, what remains inside is 60 minus 5. In third and fourth you could see 4 is common, so I took plus 4 as common, what remains inside is 60 minus 5. On the right side you could see in the first two terms 60 is common, what remains inside is t plus 4. Third and fourth, minus 5 is common, t plus 4 remains. Remember, if you take minus as common, then the sign between these two terms, third and fourth terms, which is minus, it will become plus. And here's the final step. So on the left side 6t minus 5 is common. What remains inside is t plus 4. The right side t plus 4 is common. What remains inside is 6t minus 5. So far in all the previous questions of the previous lectures, you have seen when you are at the second last step, all the time there is a common element there. Like on the left side you see 6t minus 5 is common in both the terms. On the right side t plus 4 is common. So if somehow you at this step these two there is nothing common comes out to be, so it means you have done something wrong in the previous steps. Like even the signs are different. For example, on the left side you got 6t minus 5, and then you have 6t plus 5, means t into 6t minus 5 plus 4 into 6t plus 5. So if one of them is 6t minus 5, the other is 6t plus 5, it means you can't take common and you are stuck here. So you're stuck here. So you got to go back, see your signs or any other differences if in these two terms are. It has to be same. It comes out to be the same, only then you can take common and end up with the final answer. Two linear factors which are being multiplied, sign between them is going to be multiplied. So, and as I said, on the right side you could see t plus 4 and t plus 4 is there. So if the t plus 4 and this t plus 4, there's some kind of differences. One is t plus 4, other is, for example, 3t plus 4. You can take it common and you're stuck here. So then go back to the previous steps and see where the mistakes you have done. So always in quadratic equation, the factorization, the third step, there is going to be something common which ends up with the final answer. And here I took the B part of question 3 on page 111 of exercise 3B. Is in front of you, and as usual I multiplied the coefficient of b square, which is a here, and then the constant c, which is minus 25. And you have seen now the variable in this quadratic expression could be any letter, any alphabet. It could be t, x, y, z, in this case b. So don't get confused the ABC of the general form of quadratic equation. Remember, ax square plus bx plus c. So that is kind of general form. The variable x could be any letter over there, and the a, b, c are any numbers basically. So now when I'm referring a, c, basically whatever is the variable in this case is b now in our expression. So the coefficient of b square is a. And now when I say what is b now here, remember the b is the coefficient of the variable x. In this case is b, and the coefficient of this variable is plus 76. I hope you are not confused at this step here, right? The coefficient of the variable x means here is x is b basically, which is plus 76. So our AC is now 75. So let's see some of the factors of 75. So it's a big number. You might get many factors for 75. So by looking at what we need here is multiplying those two numbers, we should get 75 plus 75. And when we add those two numbers, we should get plus 76. So keeping in view, I can see 75, 1 into 75, and the second one is 3 into 25, also 75, and there are many other few more factors over there. So I think the first one is going to be a good fit for us, because 1 into 75 is plus 75, and 1 plus 75 is going to be 76. So definitely the second one, 3 and 25, and you add 3 and 25. 3 plus 25 is 27. Or 25 minus 3 is 22. So the second one is going out. And here is, let's playing the sign with this pair. So if I take minus 1 and minus 75, it gives me 75. Okay, the second condition, minus 1 and minus 75 is going to be minus 76, but we are looking for plus 76. So here it is. So simply taking 1 and 75 are positive 75, and then when we add 1 plus 75 it gives us 76. So this is our required pair, 1 and 75. And let's solve it. Here is side by side the things. I split the middle term 76 as 1b plus 75b, or I could write it down 75b plus 1b on the right side. It's the same thing. And as usual, just for you guys, and here I'm taking now in the first two terms the left side, like I'm on the left side right now. Basically the b is common, and you see what left is minus 3b plus 1, and the third and fourth term 25 is common. Now you might be a little bit worried about what I'm trying to do here is, rather than taking plus 25 as a common, I took minus 25 as a common. We also get used to this kind of stuff, this kind of manipulation. Basically, if I take plus 25 common, what remains inside will be 3b minus 1. 3b minus 1. And if you could see in the first common thing what we have already is b into minus 3b plus 1. So minus 3b plus 1, and in this here we're going to have 3b minus 1. So this is not going to be same for the final step to be taken as common. So that's why I just played with it. I took minus 25 common, so it means the 3b in third term, which is positive, by taking minus sign out it will become minus, and then the sign between the third and fourth term, which is negative, it will become positive. Or you could have done like this, rather than taking b as common, you could have taken minus b as common. You see, by taking minus b as common, inside will be 3b, not minus 3b, and the plus, rather than having this plus 1, it will be minus 1 then. In that case, if you take plus 25 common, so you will end up the same two factors here. So that's just playing with it. Either way you could do it. Now on the right side, so here again I took minus 3b common, the first and second term. So what remains inside is b. You see the first term sign is minus, but when I take minus sign out, so this minus sign will become plus. So this will become plus b. You know, we don't write the plus sign, and the sign between the first and second term, which is plus, becomes minus. So b minus 25. So in third and fourth term, basically 1 is common. In fact, 1 is always common in any two terms. So 1 is common. I took plus 1. So what remains inside is b and minus 25. Don't be confused with this one. 1b, and you can write 25 as so 25 into 1. 25 into 1 is 25. So 1 is always there. So I took 1 as common. And here is the final step. So on the left side, minus 3b plus 1 is present in both the terms. So I took it out. What remains inside is b minus 25. On the right side, b minus 25 is common. So what remains inside is minus 3b plus 1. As you could see, both the answers are exactly the same. And okay, champs, it's your turn. So let's see how much you got. Pause the video here, go to example 4 again. I just suggest it's present in your book, and take the question there and solve it the way I did it. At this moment, go for the way I am doing, but later on, if you want to have a little bit other ways to do it, you can go for that one too. Not get confused at this stage. Just follow my way. So I hope you have it has enhanced your understanding a little bit more about the topic. And here's your fourth assignment now, and it's exercise 3B, question 2 part E and G, and question 3 part A. And as I have seen those 3 parts, and they are basically quite much similar to the ones what we have done just before, and will help you out. And before I say goodbye to you guys, here is my email address. You could see on the screen. Write it down. Basically, why I'm giving you this email address is because the kids kept on saying how we can send you these homeworks or the queries or these responses. So either way, you can upload it on your AppSec system, or you can email to me these files, images, whatever you have, attach those one. But remember, you gotta first create your own email address, email account. I think it will be pretty easier. Go to your Google or whatever you want to have it, Gmail. So there's going to be option for sign up things. I think sign up, and then it just takes you step by step. Enter your name, father name, and all kind of stuff, and then you have to choose an email address, whatever you want. And remember, when you take any email address that you will choose a name, it might not give you that one, because that name might have been taken by somebody else, so it's not available. So then you keep on changing your email address. It might suggest you also that you can take this. So it's not going to be, for example, you want to have some kind of funny or some kind of lucky email name, so it might not be available. So you can have any other email name, and once you're done with all this process, it means now you have the email account. So first you have to create an email account, then definitely you are going to be able to send me the mails. So I will wait for your responses. So that's it for today. Goodbye, take care, thank you.